Okay, so this is my room. Yes, I did bring my dolls and my bears. No judgment. That's my one bag that I had. Those items right there are like the little things that I picked up from the market at Heathrow. My other carry-on bag, and as you can see, the room is beautiful. Um, Very large, obviously spacious. That is material from my company that I'm working for, and my other carry-on bag. And then over in this little area right here is basically where I make my hot cocoa and my coffee, which for me is obviously a necessity. Um, but it's basically a hot pot. Um, But this is the part that I wanted you to see. This is the mural that's behind me, and it's beautiful. It goes all the way around. And it has a lot of famous examples of skyscrapers. The awesome thing about this room is that it has almost kind of like ambient lighting. So if you take a look, that entire area lights up back there. So at night, it just gives such a soft, beautiful glow. Um, and, obviously, because this is China, if I turn on the television, all of the information will be obviously in Chinese. But that basically says Grace Select Hotels. And don't know how well you can see, but it's a beautiful uh, kind of like entryway to the hotel. So it really is a beautiful room. Oh, and this little thing right here, they were so wonderful to, and I love this blue screen. That just makes me really happy. They were so wonderful because, you know, and right outside, by the way, that's like right next door. Um, and you can see like the paintings and the wall art. It's just a beautiful room. But getting back to this is a heater. And they gave me a heater because, as everyone knows who's been, and obviously this is for me later, but they gave me a heater because at night here in Shanghai, at least right now, it gets really, really, really cold. And as an asthmatic, I have something where my throat can basically close up, and trying to avoid that. That's always good. Um, so they gave me a heater to be able to heat my room because, obviously this is quarantine. So, quarantine is just that, it's quarantine. I did not show you the bathroom because, well, quite frankly, I'm on a kind of like a lunch break from my company because we're doing online education right now. But I will probably do another video that will be like a walk out video, the day that I'm leaving quarantine, which um, should basically be a week from yesterday. So I have another week or so to go for me to finish out quarantine. But other than that, I am uh, really grateful because it's a beautiful room. Oh, one really super important thing. Okay, so I want to highlight these plugs right here. Okay, these plugs. Make sure when you come to China, it's different than obviously the United States, and it is different than the plugs in the UK, and I want to say even Canada. These plugs are like three-prong plugs, but they are really thin slats. So I don't want to say it's strange, it's just different. So it's a combination of the three-prong plug that we have in the United States, but they are slatted plugs. They're flat. So be mindful of that when you come to China. And let me just show you something really, really important. Okay, so this is a plug that if you are shopping at Target, or as we say in the States, Target, this is a plug that you can get that is an attachment that you can, it's a Conair plug, but you can put it onto your three-prong plug and it'll make it available for you to plug in here in China. So you can kind of see it'll obviously fit at the top, right? You can do a plug-in at the top. So hold on, let me plug it back in so that you can see. So that is the plug plugged in. And also, as you can also see, I have a three-prong plug, but I also, this is like an adapter. So I have a lot, hello, someone that always carries a lot of peripherals. So I have like two phones, umpteen computers. Most people who are international travelers, you do have a lot of peripherals. The other thing I was going to show you is that little heater. That little heater is very handy. It's like a mini heater. Usually, obviously, it can't heat a room this size. This is a huge room, okay? Grace Hotels has really high vaulted, beautiful, beautiful, almost vaulted ceilings, right? So it's a really huge room. And that little heater, my little heater right here, my tried and true could not even begin to heat this room. However, and obviously that's why they brought in that heater for me. But if you take a look, that heater is small enough that it fits into my backpack, and it will heat like a standard size bedroom, right? A standard size bedroom, usually with obviously carpet. It makes it a lot easier. One of the other things that I was going to tell you about this heater, it's what I consider to be like an ambient heater. This does not have a fan. This heater does not have a fan. It just emits heat, and basically the heat just naturally rises up. Another thing that is helpful, obviously when you are traveling on the road, is, let's say that you get to a place and you don't, it's really dry, you don't have a heater, you don't have the things that are needed. Folks, always hope that you can get hot water. And I mean super almost scalding hot water, because what you can do is you can create an environment for yourself that will allow you to create humidity in the room. Run the shower, okay? You're paying for the room anyway. Run the shower on super hot and then create steam. Even if you just create steam in the bathroom, but if you get to a place where you find there's stuff in the air, you're, coughing or whatever have you, run the shower, create the humidity in the room. So that way, especially as an asthmatic, you can breathe better, One of the things that we're dealing with right now is COVID-19, right? And a lot of the healthcare officials are really kind of starting to talk about is the reason why places like Thailand, Singapore, these locations have not, not only are they able to mitigate the virus, but the virus hates humidity. So, if you create an environment where it's humid, right? Naturally, that virus is going to be like, eek. So create the humidity. The other thing I was going to tell you is, and this is something that I promised. So, obviously I'm an asthmatic. Oh, I just spilled my coffee. Obviously I'm an asthmatic. One of the things that, hold on, I'm also almost like OCD when it comes to taking care of my space that I'm in at the time. But one of the things that, I wanted to show you is, obviously I have one of my medical equipment, like one of my nebulizers. But I wanted to also show you this, right? Hold on, oh, where's the one well, in essence, go to the dollar store. This is nasal mist. Go to the dollar store and look for this. I can't even pronounce it. It's oxymethylazine, whatever. But look for this in particular, okay? When you look for that in particular, look for it because this, folks, viruses incubate in the nasal cavity. They camp out there and they have a field day in the nasal cavity. So if you can circumvent that, if you got to be really in tune, obviously, with your body. But if you can circumvent that, use the nasal mist. Use Flonase, right? So humidity, nasal mist, and obviously if you're an asthmatic, deep breathing exercises. One of the things that will happen is when you're traveling, you will get stressed. Last night, I'll be honest, I cried my eyes out at one point because I was just like, things are just happening, whatever have you. And you get stressed. And if you get stressed, you cry it out, you do what you got to do, but also, deep breathing, meditation, prayer, whatever it is that brings you back to center, utilize that. Okay. I cannot stress that, really is an imperative. It really, really is. But, I'm going to end on that very beautiful picture right there. I love that picture. It is just really gorgeous. And I love it's like a indigo blue purple. It's like an indigo blue and turns into a purple, which is very, very, very much me. But I'm going to end with this. People kept saying, oh, you're going to China, you're going to China. I was like, yeah, I am. I don't walk in a spirit of fear. I do walk in a spirit of respect and reverence, but I don't walk in a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. And some of the things that, I am, obviously I'm doing this vlog for myself. But if other people happen to take the journey, that's cool. But, remember that you have persevered and that you're still here and that you are still moving forward. And however you move forward is however you move forward, not others. And that's something that is, really, quite frankly, is an imperative. It's really an imperative for you to remember that during this journey. You are moving forward. These are your steps that are being taken. And people can judge all they want, but the reality is that they're not in your body and they are not you. And that you are doing, with what you are being given, you're doing the best that you can at the time that you're doing it. So, and it's monumental to get on a flight, to cross the Atlantic and then cross the world to reach your destination, to be with people that, you have always wanted to learn more. And really in terms of, just bridging that gap of communication and language. So Tara, as you're posting this really for yourself, remember that, don't lose sight of that. And do the things that you need to do for yourself. That really is important, to not, of course, put yourself down, but to keep moving forward, to keep going forward. And and to remember these, little travel tips. There are other things that I'm going to post uh, again in other videos, but I post them as I kind of can remember them and think of them. And it happened to be a good time because I am not I'm not I'm at lunch right now. So other than that, that will be about it. Bye.